Leo, what's going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy for the month of December via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. We're in the midst of Sagittarius season. We'll be here the majority of the month till the end of the month. Sagittarian energy is all about growth, expanding beyond our current limitations, leveling up even, if you will. We're coming from Scorpio season where there is a lot of water energy. Water meaning it heightens emotion, intuition, feeling. It can be a little destabilizing as well, right? And it's forcing us to, or it has been, and we've kind of been under this theme for a minute now, forcing us to look at what's not working, forcing us to look at what needs changing, especially around the things that just like aren't really honoring our heart anymore. You know, the things that are kind of counterintuitive to how we want to see ourselves thrive, live our best life. And as we do that exploration during Scorpio season, Sagittarius season then becomes that fuel, that inspiration to kind of launch us into better new life. And we're sifting through that right now. We've been in Sagittarius season for a week and a half or so, but there's still been a lot of water placements, a lot of planets in water signs is what I should say. And so we are kind of like fighting with the desires that we have for that expansion, for that growth, versus like the emotional things that are happening in our world that might even kind of be keeping us down a little bit. We'll talk about the astrology. We're headed into a full moon that also amplifies feeling, emotion, etc. So it all makes sense. Whoop, whoop. You know, that's why I like it, because it kind of gives us a roadmap to know where we're headed. But sometimes it can also be like, ugh, this again. So that's why I like to start off the readings with an energy cleansing. Just set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out those places we might feel blocked, limited. It's a great time to set your own intention for the reading as well, especially if you have something on your heart that you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over, be open to receive. Spirit is always trying to speak to us through many different avenues. We just kind of have to listen, right? I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you are interested in more of a rebalancing of self, alignment of your mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we are strong, grounded in self, that's really where we manifest our best life, right? That's where we connect with the desires of our heart, those areas where we can really challenge and grow beyond those limitations. And I would love to help support that, Leo, for you in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. Amen. All right, so Leo, I hear you're kind of like either distracted or maybe avoiding something, avoiding acknowledging something, or like maybe you even know this, but you just kind of don't want to go down this road is what I'm hearing. We have that full moon in Gemini the first week of December. It's actually happening tomorrow, Thursday, depending on where you're located, the 4th or 5th, I should say. And it's in Gemini. Gemini highlights duality, right? So exactly kind of as I was talking in the very beginning, we're seeing situations, we're seeing people dynamics shake out a little differently than anticipated. And so it does take us back to the drawing board. You're really focused on manifestation this month. I'm hearing like it's important for you to not turn a blind eye or get distracted or look away from certain things, because they're like the key pieces that you might be missing, especially when it comes to manifestation. Because the one thing about manifestation is like things have to be working together, right? Things have to kind of be flowing. There is this value of synchronicity that needs to play out. Everything has to align is what I'm talking about. And if we're out of alignment, or if we're not paying attention to something that does need our attention, that can be a very slippery slope. And it looks like you're seeing some things that like definitely need to be eliminated. That's the energy I'm picking up. Neptune is also going direct mid-month. We're going to get a clearer understanding of what those things are, where we need to simplify, where we need to approach people dynamics with a level of sincerity and authenticity. Maybe that's what you're avoiding. Not being completely honest with yourself about what you think, about what you feel, or what you want, or how a situation is affecting you. I like this energy for you though, Leo, because it does look like you are empowering yourself throughout the month. There might be some things that are a little bumpy along the road. What's nice about December is astrologically, there's not a lot of crazy transits. There's not a lot of things that are happening. Sorry, the heat just kicked on. I apologize if that's too loud in the background. But there's not a lot of crazy transits that are happening that are like, oh, you got to be worried about. And I think seasonally it makes sense. You know, we're in the holiday seasons. Yeah, there's a lot of like annoyances that we have to deal with, but it's fun. It's lighthearted. It's celebration. You might be dealing with some conflict. As I'm saying that, conflict comes up in your blocked energy. That conflict also might be the thing that's kind of keeping you from looking too deep at someone or something. You're having a hard time wrapping your mind around something that like either you have to do it differently or go about it differently or take a new path completely. And I think that's a little hard for you. Sometimes fire energy can be very fixed, very determined in its position and how it's headed, where it wants to go. This, whatever you're dealing with this month, it's adding to a deeper layer of your sense of self, like who you are, your value. Again, it might not seem like that because it is coming in the form of a lesson. New relationship coming up for you, 2 of Cups. A new offer on the table. Something becomes interesting. Something, and this might be the distraction, honestly, this new dynamic. I'm going to clarify this 2 of Cups for you. But beginning of the month, it looks like you are dealing with relationships, even if this isn't someone new coming in. 2 of Cups, Page of Swords, communication. This might be some of the conflict we're seeing. The Star, healing. And the High Priestess, listening to your intuition. So it's like something's telling you either how to communicate with someone or there might be a better way to do something. And again, I don't know that you're on board in the beginning because you have other things going on is what it looks like. Like you're more focused on something else. And maybe whatever this person's situation needs from you, it doesn't feel very immediate, like you need to do it. It doesn't feel like necessary in the moment or during this time because again, your focus is maybe money. Like this came up heavily in Cancer. Yeah, Cancer's reading. So you might have some Cancer placements or be dealing with a Cancer. But this is like, you know, we're in the season where we spend a lot of money. So money is often a central focus, making sure, and you know, whatever this is, you kind of have something that you got to keep up and running. And I think it might not be how you want to invest your energy. You're pushing yourself to do it, to get it done. And it also seems like that's part of the reason why maybe you don't have enough space for other people or to be as present as you want. We have 3 of Wands, 7 of Wands. This is where some of this defensiveness comes in. It looks like someone's challenging you mid-month. It looks like you're going to have to look at some things that might not feel so comfortable. But if you do, again, it kind of goes back to this like leveling up or adding more value, more authenticity to yourself as a person, learning lessons that you can pass down to generations, etc. You're not sold on it though. There's something about this that like, I see you kind of vacillating back and forth a lot this month. Like I said, between things that like maybe it's not a bad thing. It's not like a bad distraction. Like it might actually be something that needs your time, but it might not be the thing that needs your immediate attention. There's something else happening. And it does look like a lot of this is connected to whatever you're manifesting, how you're actually going to move forward. It becomes a little bit of a struggle because end of the month, well, Black Moon Lilith moves into Sagittarius. So it's easy to buy into something that's either not true, not real. She does the dangling of the carrot, the breadcrumb. She kind of highlights our not darker desires. Black Moon Lilith is wild. It's a wild energy, the wild feminine, which obviously everything can have its credits and deficits. So it's not horrible, but what I'm picking up a lot from this energy of her moving into Sagittarius is where you might block yourself mentally, whatever tapes you're playing in your head, whatever beliefs you have about the situation that's going on. Because again, there's part of you that feels like, yeah, I should invest in this. And then there's part of you that's like, no, I have other things going on. It looks like someone just wants your sincere attention. And as much as maybe, I don't know, I think you just don't want to be accused of something. That's what it kind of looks like. Because even when this conversation happens, I do see a softening of your energy. I do see this ability to kind of self-reflect and not necessarily like how things have played out. Maybe even recognizing some of the places where you wish you would have done it a little bit differently. But I don't necessarily see you sitting in that energy. Like, it doesn't seem like it's enough for you to feel that moved. And that's where the disconnect is coming into play with this dynamic, because someone needs that from you, and it's a little hard for you to give it. And even if you do give it a little bit, end of the month, you're kind of like, well, what was that all about? Or like, you're kind of, I don't want to say going back on your word. Don't hate me for that, Leo, but that's how the energy comes off. I'll clarify this too, because maybe it's something like you don't need to give to someone, right? Like maybe it is just someone else's emotionality. You're trying to look at it from that bird's eye perspective, Queen of Swords energy. She's really good at the pros and cons list and canceling out the emotion, even if it is hard, even if it does hurt her. We're also moving into Capricorn on the 21st. Capricorn is the energy of hard work. It's like that energy that we just can't avoid, unfortunately. But there's this part of you that like really wants to maintain control over a situation. You want to maintain control over how things evolve. And I think that's also where I'm seeing some backlash for you. Like, again, difference of opinion. All right. Let's see who this Emperor is. So some family members coming in for some support. Holidays are around the corner. It looks like you do have, I don't see a resolution to this month, but it does look like you have support coming in. And it looks like you have some people who are validating what you think, what you feel. that I think kind of gives you permission to like do what you think is best. You're looking back over, I don't see you making any quick moves this month, which I think is really good. We still have 3 planets in retrograde. Like I said, Neptune's going to go direct. So that's really going to release some of the illusion we've been buying into. It's going to give us more clarity, better understanding, and that kind of like, okay, this is what I have to do. And that comes in, like I said, mid-month. I get all the words I can't see. Borgum? Sorry, I'm like so bad. I love this deck. I'm not like very good with the elements. It's on the periodic table. It's called Prima Materia. It's beautiful. But of course it's like all the elements on the periodic table, and some of them I can't pronounce. Deborah. All right. I'm going to read out of the book for these as well. They're really beautiful. Beryllium, I can pronounce that one. It's really beautiful, poetic, how the cards, the symbolism is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I'm losing my words. Hasium or Hassam, one of the two. Oh, I think that guy's a little crazy. Let's look. All right. So, and I feel like that's kind of just like what you need. You might need some people, which you do get end of the month, people who are kind of like understanding where you're coming from, what you think, what you feel, so you can have that better frame of reference, right? Whatever you're dealing with, it feels a little like ambiguous. You're not sold, you're not convinced, and so you don't really want to invest in something, that could kind of, hurt you down the line, so to speak. Seaborgium, the secret keeper of the secret society, Transastonides, sorry. I don't know how to pronounce it, it's so bad. The secret society, whose mysterious scribbles, it's the series that it comes from, bind their modern art together with a particular gibberish that only those who's in his group can understand. A strange kind of kinship amongst temporary bewilderments in a lost and weary world. And this might be just like how you feel, right? Like how you feel that people aren't understanding you, or they're not understanding your vision. The downside to that, Leo, is it does mean self-reflection's important. Sometimes we do just kind of have to take inventory of how we're coming across. Even if we don't agree with what's being said, that's part of relationships, unfortunately. It's part of working together, right? It's part of just understanding another person, even if you don't understand, giving them a little empathy and understanding. Beryllium says, on its own, beryllium is a strong yet flexible entity, able to endure the almost insuperable, a discreet and effective protector. But where this stable entity shines, what it truly exalts in, is a kind of cosmic conglomeration, an acrobatic weaving, and intertwining with other matter, resulting in sparkling masterpieces of connective wholeness. Engaged with the sharing process, beryllium amplifies the goodness that organically arises when different voices come together peacefully to heighten the quality of our journey on this planet. It symbolizes balance, scout, diplomacy, resolution, and effective. So that's the value. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, we can be really strong on our own, but when we add people, relationships, dynamics that really support, honor, nourish us, it makes us thrive, and it can be hard if we've been hurt, badly burned, betrayed, all that stuff. It can be really hard to trust people, open up to people. Like I said, it seems like you have people who are doing that for you end of the month. And I think that that's where the silver lining comes into play. Hassium says, soar at the center of this tableau, a deliberately chosen site for self-concentrated energy that is the hairbringer of a new world, a power that has known where it belonged all along and whose recorded correspondence is the structure of its time. So there is opportunity, right? And this is kind of what we talked about. There is opportunity, and grow beyond, evolve, allow this to strengthen you, to make you a better version of yourself. And a lot of that is kind of to be determined, depending on what you choose, what way you go. It's getting clear about what you want your life to look like. You don't have to have every nook and cranny defined, but when you can understand, I want this thing, I don't want this thing, I want to do this, I want to experience this, I don't want to experience this, it helps give some guidelines for what you do want to manifest and where you do need to put your time, your energy. It's a little tough this week this month because you have a lot going on. It's hard to kind of decipher between like what you really need to invest in versus like what you want to invest in. So I would encourage you, like I said, just bring a little more clarity, a little more awareness to yourself. Try to diffuse the conflict. It's the more you engage, the harder it's going to make this. And I feel like it's actually going to kind of disconnect you from whatever you're trying to manifest, that full circle moment back to the very beginning, right? Like don't disconnect because it might land you in a spot you don't necessarily want to be. So Godspeed. Leo, thank you so much for your time, energy always. I super appreciate you. I hope you found messages that resonated here. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I love to hear. Or just say, hey, share in a little love, a little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support to the channel. No, it blesses my heart. And I'm sending love and blessings back to you.